Create value. What does it mean? I like things simple. I have heard it said time and time again, not only on this forum but in just about 90% of anything business related that I pick up. It's the same saying or something similar: don't focus on the money, create value and the money will come. I would like value defined by some of you that feel you have created it, and what you feel the evidence of this created value was. I found a short snippet on eHow about creating value, but I am hoping to get something epic here. Oh, by the way, I am not challenging this thought. I believe it but would like a deeper understanding so that I can connect to the concept. Thanks in advance. Think of it this way. If you had $20 and someone said they would sell you a crisp $50 bill for your $20, would you do it? Of course. Now think of a product that you think is easily worth $50. If someone can sell it for $35, they created value to you. If most people think what you offer is worth the money they pay, then you created value. Okay. Thanks for this. Your reply made me realize that value is very subjective, depending upon which industry you're in. Bro, the best way to look at it is this: money is simply evidence or proof of your value contribution. Whether you clean toilets in public restrooms in downtown Los Angeles or whether you own a company. Whether you are an employee or an entrepreneur, you contributed value, except the entrepreneur leverages capital, and therefore can contribute more value than an employee. Plain and simple. Forget this whole nonsense concept of money that most people are totally stuck with. Value is defined as delivering something that someone else needs to another member in society. An entrepreneur simply molds resources such as human capital and other economic resources such as plastic, wood, metal, computers, software, etc. into something that someone else needs. That right there is value. If this is what everyone was looking for, I am sorry for the oversimplified example. Great post, buddy. I would also say that marketing can create manipulated value. For example, look at products in the weight loss niche. Most of the time it's the marketing which is creating the demand, not the actual product itself, because it's changing customers' value perceptions. Could be something like adding a new benefit, or emphasizing a benefit more than others. Historically, money is an IOU for a barter system. Money is proof you provided service to another person, and the more money you have, the more value you've provided to others. To make more money, provide more value. That is, be more useful to more people. Solve their problems, give them something. Doing something like Google sniping a niche site for AdSense clicks. You provide questionable value. It's more like hacking a temporary system to cheat your way into money, which is why a simple algorithm change can screw over your business. If you had a niche site that provided actual value, in-depth original articles or advice or tutorials, you'd have 1,000 people naturally linking to you, and that traffic would keep you alive no matter what Google did. A lot of money is also made by arbitrage and scalping, where arguably no value is created. I create money this way. You can substitute the word value with need or want, create a need, or create a want, and people will pay to get it. The word value is a challenge within it. Especially for hippies like me. I just think value is whenever somebody will think it will make their lives better, easier, etc. So when I sell headphones, I give value. Why? Because some people love to listen to music. Another form of value could be to write an ebook about something you know a lot about. Or a service that gives people an easier way to do things. It's so broad. For me, the only distinction is, just don't do it for selfish reasons. But, whatever company you look at that makes big bucks does it by giving value, providing a solution to a problem. The big problem for me always is to get not hung up with all these terms. Shit, I need to give value. It sounds really heavy. I also got stuck with the sentence "do what you love won't make you rich." All it says is that you won't become rich with some weird activity nobody cares about. If you love coding, I would not say it can't make you rich. So it seems that money, in most cases, is evidence of value. What about power, influence, and branding? Are these things also a product of value? I am beginning to believe that convenience is a form of value relative to saving people time. One example I can think of is McDonald's. Obviously they do not serve the best tasting or most nutritious food in the entire restaurant industry, but they provide a quick solution to a problem that all humans experience: hunger. So is it safe to say that if I don't have the greatest product online, I can offer quicker, more convenient shipping, possibly even cheaper, and still create value via convenience? I am not trying to be too deep, but if I can clearly define as many ways to create value and apply a few of them, that should really compound the results. The biggest companies didn't get there without ever being small. At least, with the little knowledge I have, I don't know a company that right away were the biggest. So they have given lots of value, and because of that are now very powerful in their industry. Look at Virgin. How much fun they brought in the lives of people. Now, they are one of the biggest companies and they can use their money to build more companies. But, those companies will fail, I think, if they don't bring value to the people. Again, I am not that knowledgeable. I also don't care to be. One thing I have learned last year is to stop looking at the big guys feeling shitty about my own progress. Let's say you love playing music, you love to paint, you love public speaking, and with that, you also are trying to build your company. If you look at Clapton, Picasso, Bill Clinton and Richard Branson to see how you are doing, you will always feel overwhelmed. But yes, McDonald's doesn't have the best burger, they bring value on a different level. I think you're a bit like me. Too much thinking. There is no map to build a successful company. There are guidelines. One of those guidelines is that your company need to bring something to the people that will solve something. Doesn't matter if that's noise-cancelling headphones for the people that travel and hate all the city sounds, or building a company that flies you from country A to Z. Something I learned from Eckhart Tolle: words are just words. So even a word like company got me stuck for some time. Your whys don't matter, as long as the customer gets what he wants. You can make your whys matter to the customer, and that is a form of marketing. Yes, look at Gap Incorporated. They own Gap, Old Navy, and Banana Republic. Each store basically offers the same things: pants, shirts, but the value is completely different. Check out the book Personal MBA, the first couple chapters are dedicated to this concept and how various businesses offer value. I'm not a professional marketer, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I do have some opinions on this. Value means different things to different people, and it can be subtle. Good marketing can add a lot to value. Consider a simplistic example: advertisements for a watch. The customer knows exactly what he's getting with AD2. You've given him insight, which is value, and you'll profit by actually selling the thing instead of it sitting forever on your shelf. There's also perceived value, which you can offer by making the customer comfortable with choosing your product over somebody else's. Again, good marketing can do this for you. Portray your product as the second coming, complete with over-the-top descriptions, glowing recommendations, happy words combined with a no BS approach, and you can sway people into buying your product over someone else's. At least that's the theory I'm going with, SMX9. What I used to think value was, create a brand new product nobody has ever heard of and show them why they need it. What I now think value is, offer something people want or need. If you sell computers cheaper than everyone else, you've created value by saving them money. If you create a new gizmo that people want, you've created value by giving people something they want. If you sell toilets or any other product that already exists and market it under your own brand, you've created value by making it easier for customers to buy what they want. If you install solar panels, you've created value by installing something the buyer wouldn't know how to install himself. Making something cheaper, better, easier, faster, more professional. MJ writes about this in Think of value in terms of your customer's perceived perspective rather than in terms of your perspective. That was my biggest problem with understanding value. This is so awesome about Fastlane book. Some books have a certain quality to them, that when you read it again you just hear different things than the first time. The reason is obvious, the reader has a deeper understanding of the concepts and now hears different things. MJ's book has this quality. Not many books do. Pursuing an idea that had already been done might actually be a good thing. Because the concept is proven. You just do it better. If the concept has not been proven, there is a lot of risk. And maybe there is a reason why it has never been done. Maybe the pros know something you don't, Ike. Smug 2. Right, I used to think you had to reinvent the wheel and that any competition was bad. Literally the opposite is true. Nice. Simple, yet very insightful. How I applied this today in real time. I own a home healthcare based business and I focused about 3 hours of my time today on developing 3 packages of care ranging from a basic home-based healthcare service, to an elite level, 7-day-per-week package in which I offer along with the home health services therapeutic massage from a contracted partner and concierge services for busy professional family members also available through a contracted person I know. Although these are both optional in the elite package, I wanted to bring something I have not seen my competitors offer. My value contribution for the day. Thanks guys. Nice. It seems that would be an easy industry to get complacent and stop being innovative. Had you tested the concept with any customers beforehand to gauge the level of interest? Another service you might offer is dog visits. I've heard good things about bringing dogs into rest homes to visit interested patients. Very therapeutic. I love dogs, so someone damn well better bring one around to visit me when I'm creaky and ancient. LOL, you're crazy dude. Slay. I really like the dog idea. I also think some sort of mental health counseling would be helpful. Depression is a serious problem for older folks. Have you thought about expanding beyond healthcare? What about other senior services, house calls for minor desktop computer teaching or repair so they can keep in touch with their kids, house cleaning services through another vendor, etc. I think the dog idea was a good one, but your comment about getting old and cranky was hella funny. I am open to new innovative ideas to separate us from our competitors, but just establishing a name for ourselves among the financially elite by itself is a full-time job at the moment. Maybe when we start gaining momentum via word of mouth we can introduce new ideas to keep an edge in the market around that time. I know of nothing more despicable and pathetic than a man who devotes all the hours of the waking day to the making of money for money's sake. John D. Rockefeller. Consumption is the sole end and purpose of all production, and the interest of the producer ought to be attended to, only so far as it may be necessary for promoting that of the consumer. Adam Smith. Even these two brothers were Fastlane equals. Our enormously productive economy demands that we make consumption our way of life, that we convert the buying and use of goods into rituals, that we seek our spiritual satisfactions, our ego satisfactions, in consumption. The measure of social status, of social acceptance, of prestige, is now to be found in our consumptive patterns. The very meaning and significance of our lives today expressed in consumptive terms. The greater the pressures upon the individual to conform to safe and accepted social standards, the more does he tend to express his aspirations and his individuality in terms of what he wears, drives, eats, his home, his car, his pattern of food serving, his hobbies. Exactly. It's redefining how money is acquired. To create a velocity of money flow into your direction, you have to have what money is attracted to, and that is value. Value is defined by need, demand, or want. Think of value or money relationship like a magnet. Value is there. Money is there. Put the two charges negative and positive together and create. The magnet moves and creates a bond. Unfortunately, in the world of money making, people approach money on a polarized basis. They attack money with a negative charge. I want to make money. I want to get rich. And you know what happens when you inverse a magnet? You repel the two forces. Two identically charged magnets face to face will repel each other. This simple analogy, positive charge or negative charge, is why most people never make money. To attract money, you must reverse your polarity from negative repel to positive attract. This shit is probably going into my next book if I have one. Consider it a preview equals bingo. True. This is why anyone who begrudges rich people, they are actually begrudging value creators and job creators. Class warfare is nothing but an attack on the very people who create value in our world. I don't mind a billionaire moving into my town if he provides 1,000 great jobs, or spends millions at the local stores. I love rich people because they advance our society via our value exchange. Rich people typically both produce and consume heavily, both are fundamental to a robust economy. You don't get jobs from poor people. This is why I'm not big on AM as a primary revenue driver, but a complement. For example, the affiliate ads at this forum are complimentary. They aren't my bread and butter. It's the salt on the steak. Au contraire, if you buy a house in Phoenix, you bought it because you felt the market undervalued it. You saw value. When you buy a stock, you feel it is undervalued via its stock price versus its management and earnings potential. You are speculating on your ability to be a better determinant of value, and your ability to forecast value into the future. When I buy stock options, I am making a value bet. I bet that the price will be valued higher or lower in the future. If I sell naked rim calls, I'm saying these call options are overpriced and worth selling. This company is valued too high. The price will be lower in the future. Every action, or non-action, is a value assessment. When you purchase an undervalued house, fix it up, and rent it for $1,000 or more, you are creating value. Your business is also high in the business of assessing value. It will make you rich if you translate it into value that others can consume. Anytime you hear someone saying money, replace the word with value. That helps. Similarly, anytime I hear a politician say we must tax the rich, I replace the rich with the value creators. Sometimes value can be reframed just by presentation. This is the art of assessing value. Like in finding undervalued stocks, real estate, etc. Buy something at Craigslist with one blurry picture. Take it home, clean it up, paint it, do whatever, take 10 high-def photos and relist for more. You just reframed value. Wow! That pretty much summed it all up. Thank you. I know this sounds really basic, but I guess it goes back to the old adage you must give in order to receive. Which helps to make MJ's magnet analogy make sense to me, because, and I may be getting way too deep here, if money is seeking to capture a worthy owner, and you are seeking to capture money, you are in fact repelling what it is that you seek. In contrast, we must transform ourselves, goods and services, into the very things that money wealth seeks to capture, and in essence what we are doing is making ourselves bait by becoming value creators. I really get this, but I made it sound a little weird, I think, but that's just how I understand things better. Through weird analogies. This has been golden. You can look at it the other way too. Scammers and money chasers are value destroyers. Money chasers are one level above scammers in my book. You throw out a shitty product or service as a crowbar to pry the money out of people's hands. When you open up a new business for the purpose of let's see if we can make money, you will fail. And when you do that, you just destroyed your own value. You'll lose your money on your shitty venture and other people's value. Buyer's remorse. Damn, that product or service sucks. $8 comments from consumers. Who can contribute more value? A janitor employee or a big ass corporation? This is why entrepreneurs are usually rich, because they can contribute more value than Joe Blow, the employee who is limited. I think ever since we were little kids we were never taught that wealth is created by helping others in society. I value contribution. When someone says money or wealth, most people think of stacks of Benjamins, boats, mansions, fancy cars, etc., not value contribution to strangers in society. The more you help society, the more society will help you. You see, when you contribute $1 million worth of value to society, society owes you $1 million worth of value: Lamborghinis, houses, jelly beans, hamburgers, etc. This is why I say that piece of paper in your wallet is simply evidence or proof of your value contribution. For example, when someone sells you a hamburger, you give them money. Then business that got your money now has evidence that it contributed value to you. Every entrepreneur needs to get rid of this whole nonsense idea of making money and start focusing on helping others or contributing value. All entrepreneurs should ask themselves, am I a value creator? Quality product or services that others need, or a value destroyer? Money chasers? A funny way to think of this is, when you have $1 million because you contributed $1 million worth of value to society production, you can then convert that consumption to whatever you want. $1 million worth of jelly beans or 4 Lamborghinis. MJ, I love and respect what you have created, and your mind is brilliant when it comes to wealth creation. But I think I know where you were kind of going with this comment, and I love rich people too who act like they have good sense, but that does not necessarily equate to me loathing people who have less. I believe we must be very careful as we acquire financial intellect that we do not become socially autistic. I know you didn't say this, but let me clarify that all people that are wealthy are not good and all people that are poor are not bad. Nor can they all be separated into groups of job producers and job destroyers. I really do not believe there is a class war in this country, regardless of what the political spin suggests. I confess that I have my days when my employees make me feel like I would vote to make complacency a capital offense if someone caught me at that moment. But bro, there have to be checks and balances so that we all can continue to have the opportunity to get this money. I am all about free enterprise, but have seen the effects firsthand of what the wealthy can do to an industry they want 100% control over and have the money to influence the outcomes they want. I witnessed corporate giants zero in on mental health services in my state and convinced the governor and Health and Human Service Secretary to change regulations that would basically force smaller agencies to close their doors by regulating new expenditures 3 times what they had been incurring. After these businesses closed their doors, the consumers left behind had no options available but the big guys. But things did not work out as planned, unfortunately. Many mental health consumers opted not to receive services from these companies, which left many emergency rooms overwhelmed with manic patients. The problem has not been fixed yet, and that was almost 2 years ago. Now, did the rich create jobs in this case? Yes, they did. They hired many of the spill-off from the smaller agencies that had to close. Even did it for much less than it cost before, because demand for mental health positions shot up, but the sup only fell drastically. But in the end, the people that needed the services lost out because they were robbed of their right to choose. So yes, in a sense you're right, you don't get jobs from poor people, but on the flip side of that coin, sometime you lose the one you have to overzealous rich people. We need a healthy balance. Just my two. There is definitely class warfare in this country. Tax the rich and see what they do. They are not stupid. They will leave. Using examples from businesses that downsized is a moot point. Those jobs would have never been there in the first place if it was not from a somewhat successful NETP. You've responded to my comments as if they are spoken in absolutes. They are generalizations. Sure, there are many rich people, I should say corporations made up of individuals who might have acquired their wealth via predatory practices, but their numbers are far less than the rich people in this country who are starting businesses and creating value. IMO, the value betrayal you describe evolved from the big public companies where stakeholder priorities change, whereas a private company or entrepreneur creates customer-centric value. They have positive charge. The public company demotes the customer in favor of shareholder value, switching from positive to negative. This is where value is eroded in favor of greed and profit. The customer simply isn't the number one priority, money is. Shareholders demand profits. Shareholders demand ROI. Investors need a return. Wall Street wants our earnings to grow at X%. A great example is Bank of FN America. I hate them, and they would sell your mother for a $15 service fee. Think they care? Nope. Profit is priority, customer satisfaction isn't. Downsized? Is that what they call it now? It used to be called closed. Either or. The company wouldn't have existed without the evil rich guy. Crap business practices always catch up. Correct me if I am wrong, Yusuf. But you seem to be lurking around here with a demonized view of business. I would argue about these companies changing the regulation that, if the regulation was not there in the first place, the market would have been better off and operating more efficiently. Obviously, government is not a solution to business problems. Look what it has done to itself. Creating value is how honest business people make fortunes. There is absolutely nothing wrong with creating value, even if it means you have to let employees go every once in a while. That is the price of capitalism, so if that doesn't float your boat, wait a couple more years or move to Cuba. I still have zero respect or like for you, so I would prefer the later. Mitt Romney is one of two candidates for the. Do you know what Romney did as a businessman to get to that position? I am not sure what you are asking. But I guess he had to make some good money to help to support a campaign. He has been labeled as some dishonest business hole through political mudslinging. He is simply a venture capitalist that had some projects that failed. Like most VC campaigns, you fully expect a number of projects to fail, but, if you plan right, your successes cover your failures. Not that I like him, but he is light years less socialist than Mr. Obama. It is always about the lesser of two evils, isn't it? I want out personally. I like global wealth's train of thought. I think he is the lesser of the evils as well. I absolutely hate Comrade Obama, but I'm just saying he did some messed up stuff and he hasn't felt any repercussions from it. What I meant by saying that. If a company does nothing but screw people over, how long will that company be in business? How long before someone drains them with a lawsuit? The answer is that shitty business is almost never sustainable. In a free market, that is. Yes, Kak, I must correct you. For me to demonize business would be shooting myself in the foot. I am a business owner. I respect your perspective on regulation, although I do not agree with it, but I think regulation is necessary in some industries, even if only minimally so. One of the most unique and beautiful things about our country is that one can be many things at once. For example, you could be the founder and CEO of a multi-million-dollar company yet have a social conscience and be environmentally responsible. Or one could be the CEO of a non-profit that does a lot of social good yet he or she can be a total ass outside of work that only cares about him or herself. Whatever makes your boat float. My point is you become the evil rich guy only by choice, and regardless of what my personal beliefs are, I think there is good in everyone, and we all have something to contribute and to be learned. That's just me. The word hate is a term used only by the ignorant. So if you don't respect our democratic process here in America, I will personally wire you enough money to get a passport and a one-way ticket to Russia or China. I am only kidding with you. You have a right to your opinion. Just a reminder of the no politics rule here. Don't want one of the mods coming in here and smacking you all upside the head. Yusuf, I respectfully understand how you may feel like this about regulation. But what I want you to do is stand back and take a look at how messed up government is. Do you really want that monstrosity regulating business freely? They don't even have their own shit together. Why should they tell us what to do? Business should be regulating government, not the other way around. These idiots can't even make a budget. I am against either party regulating business the way they do. What he said. I'm here to discuss business mostly, and the no politics or religion rule is a fantastic way to keep the discussion centered on business. If you don't mind, can we please just drop the political aspect? I am not preaching politics. Government regulation and utter stupidity comes from both sides of the aisle. Speaking as a mod, I am pretty close to pull the trigger. Politics will take us nowhere anyway. Yes, we all agree. Now the question is, how do we profit from it? Otherwise, there are gazillions, real number of forums to talk about politics out there. So, going back to the original topic, are we close to a good agreement or at least a good discussion about what creating value is? TSK, I warned you guys. Yeah, I have to agree with the others about the politics crap. I love the fact that it isn't allowed on this forum. MJ is a very smart man. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed this thread and it made me think about creating value in a whole new way. I am also going to reread the book and see what new things I see. Thanks again MJ for all that you have done and continue to do. This is neither here nor there, but one wealthy entrepreneur told me, entrepreneurs and employees work at cross purposes. Employees want to extract as much money for as little work possible. Entrepreneurs want to extract more productivity for as little money possible. Eventually all employees go lame and have to be replaced. I know that was an interesting perspective. Never heard that one before, but the more I think about it, the more sense it makes. Okay, I have been out creating value. What did I miss? Oh, more politics? Let me share this thought if I may, since I am the one that started this thread. I am pretty sure MJ is a pretty stanking rich dude with access to a lifestyle that some of us dream of having someday. Yet regardless of his political views, social status, education, religion, race, or gender, here we all are with a platform to not only voice our opinions but to receive feedback from those that have been to the summit. There are members that don't like me, but guess what, if they post some good shit I still eat it up and ask them a question or two because it's still good shit. There are members that I disagree with 99% of the time, but if they drop a jewel that remaining 1% of the time, I'm on it. One important thing that I have learned from being on this forum is to be malleable. MJ told me that I needed thicker skin because I was taking things way too personal. Guess what? I changed, because he was right, and that not only opened my mind up to receiving more on the forum, but it also helped me be a stronger leader of my company. So in closing, I want to say that $1 trillion in currency trades circle the globe every day, and I want my cut. A closed hand receives nothing and a closed mind gets even less. He gave me the same advice about taking things personally years ago. It is excellent advice. Do you trade currencies? No, I don't trade currency, but have studied a little about it. My knowledge in it is very novice, so I know I am not ready. Amen. So true. Thanks for articulating it in a way I knew intuitively but couldn't quite state.